Hello, Nick here from TechNuovo. Some time ago I checked out the Melitta Coffee Solo. It was great and it was actually my daily driver for well over a year. Melitta has now sent over their Latte Select, a newer bean to cup coffee machine with a noticeable upgrade from the Solo, or at least it looks that way from the features. I've been using it over the last couple of weeks as my go-to coffee machine. There was quite a lot to try and get through, but I'll try and be as efficient as I can. Out of the box, it's quite a large machine with a size of 255mm wide by 340 high, 470 deep, so it will take up a fair bit of space on your kitchen counter. To the front and working top to bottom, various touch buttons for default coffees, hot milk, hot water, profiles and coffee strengths. Below that, a small coloured screen to the left, and to the right, a rotary push button which is used for browsing the settings. Centrally, the adjustable outlet for the coffee, water and milk, although the milk is plugged in via the side from a plastic tube that goes into the external milk jug. Below that, the drip tray which holds used water and coffee grounds. To the very top, a cup rest with a metal grating, and behind that, the bean hopper. To the left hand side, a removable 1 litre water tank and the power on button. To the right hand side, that is where you gain access to the brewing unit for cleaning it. Although quite large compared to what I've tried before, it looks good and it feels premium. Features appear plentiful. It's bean to cup, so no portafilter, no fuss, just fill up and press a button. It's got a small display plus touch control buttons for some default coffee types. There are 12 different recipes available. There is a 2 bean hopper, an anti-scratch tray, but we'll see about that. A separate milk jug for easy milky coffees. You can change the strength, adjust grind course, create your own profiles. There is a double shot mode, and a bunch of other stuff as well. Spec wise, max power consumption is 1.4 kilowatts and maximum pressure is 15 bar. Setup was very straightforward: unbox, unwrap and plug it in. Upon first boot up, you need to set the time and language, then test the water for hardness. There is a stick provided to do this. Tell the machine the result, which will determine how often you need to clean the machine, then fill it up with water. Fill the hopper with beans and then make 2 drinks, but throw them both away as we're just flushing the system through. What are the options if you have hard water? Use it, keep on top of cleaning the machine to reduce lime scale. Purchase a filter to use within the machine, which Melitta sells separately, or use filtered or bottled water when making your drinks. Using the milk container is pretty easy. It's just a plastic container with a lid and a built-in removable straw that goes to the bottom of it. The container is plugged in to the side of the main outlet on the machine via a plastic tube. The machine sucks the milk up, heats it, froths it, and pours it out into your cup. There is a neat cleaning feature for the milk. It sucks out the milk in the tube and cleans it as well, so you can unplug the tube and put the container in the fridge to keep your milk fresh. First time making a coffee, turn the machine on, let it heat up, let it flush through some water, and then you're ready to go. I just went straight in and made myself a cappuccino by pressing the cappuccino button. It pops up on screen the recipe. It was something like 40 grams espresso, 80 grams of milk. Oh, how small that was though. I used my standard mug and it barely filled up halfway. Tasty, but very unfulfilling. To get a proper sized cappuccino, or any other drink for that matter, you have to turn the knob. It will display the overall milliliters for the drink, so you can then make it bigger or smaller. However, with that, unless you know the size of your mug, you're guessing. That's fine, it's all about trial and error with coffee machines anyway. Alternatively, you can press the cappuccino button and then rotate the knob. This does the same thing, but instead of an overall millimeter for the drink, it splits it up between espresso and milk. So I knew that first time round, it was half a cup, so I just rotated the knob to double the previous figures-ish, and then it gave me a good sized cup of coffee. The coffee itself was well extracted, the espresso was smooth, rich, and when I swirled it, it had a nice crema to it as well. Milky drinks like a cappuccino were very tasty, a good 2-3 to 1 ratio of coffee to milk, and that was fine with me. I tried all the drinks, and most of the time I had to adjust the recipe and or quantities to make a cup I really like. Noise wise, it's relatively quiet. My kids sometimes complain when I use my other machine and steam milk, but I had no complaints with the Latte Select. I took a few temperatures. I know some people like their coffee really hot. Espresso comes out at about 70 degrees on normal temperature setting, but up that to hot temperature setting and your shot will come out closer to 78 degrees. Cappuccino at 70 degrees, hot milk comes out at about 66 degrees, hot water comes out at 82 degrees. Normal and hot temperatures, I will get onto that a little bit later. It's worth noting the milk comes out with a bit of froth to it, so it looks good, the texture is quite nice when you drink it, but it's too airy to make and try any latte art if you try to pour that into a jug and add the milk to the espresso yourself. It won't work, it's not designed to, so don't bother trying. There is this whole software control settings option you can go through with the machine. Hold the rotary button in for a few seconds and the menu will pop up on the screen. Then use the rotary knob to navigate the menus up and down, press to enter. Options include direct keys or the touch buttons, the default settings as mentioned earlier. Within the direct keys option, you can select coffee amount in grams, coffee strength as mild, normal, strong or extra strong, and temperature as well as low, medium or high. This applies to the majority of the drinks available. Moving on to the recipes function, that opens up your options in terms of types of coffees, adds Americano, flat white and so on. Also, all of them can be adjusted. My Coffee, which is your user profiles, there are 6 in total. Basically, you model your coffees how you want them, save it under a name, and then they are stored for you to use another time. How often you'd use that, I don't know. Depends how many people you have in your home, I guess. Care option, rinsing, cleaning the milk, filter and descaling, both settings and the ability to start the cleaning process if desired before being prompted, although the machine will prompt you when it needs cleaning. Lastly, general settings, change the time, date, auto off feature and so on. Back to those quick buttons and moving along to button number 7, which is the 2 beverages option. Put 2 cups under the outlet and 2 drinks will be made simultaneously. This isn't limited to just espresso. The milk will also come out twice to make 2 lattes. You need to press the 2 times button first and then follow up with your chosen drink. When making 2 cappuccinos, it did 2 shots of coffee, so 1 effectively per cup, then push milk out to both cups as well. Remember to adjust the quantity of coffee before pressing go. You'll also see from the 2 pretty standard cups I used, the outlet is very close to the side of the cup, and I did miss a bit of coffee at first until I relocated the cup. There is an option to change the grind setting, although the machine has been optimally set at the factory before it comes to you, so fear not if you see coffee grounds in your machine when you first unbox like I did. It's been tested and used at the factory. And if you go into settings, it displays how many coffees or drinks have been made. And I think for me, it was shown about 10 before I made my first one. If you do want to change the grind setting, the fineness, the coarseness, there is a slider at the rear of the machine allowing you to do this. A word on the hopper, it includes a manual lever that allows you to swap between 2 types of coffee beans. It's crude, I found the beans to mix, so I personally would not put 2 types of beans in the hopper, but the feature is there if you wanted it. There is also a flap next to the hopper. You can put in already ground coffee if desired. The machine knows you've opened the chute and you've got 3 minutes to use those grounds before the machine goes back to wanting to grind the beans. As for cleaning the machine, on the outside it can all be wiped down. The tray can also be removed and washed in the sink, the grounds thrown away or used in your compost as a fertilizer. Then the next part is descaling and cleaning the internals. You can purchase descaling tablets from Melitta or elsewhere, and when prompted by the machine to clean, you can pop a tablet into the water tank or the brewing unit and flush it through. It takes about 15 minutes, it tells you what to do and it's very easy. Also, remove the brewing unit from the right hand side of the machine and clean that, as it will have all sorts of coffee grounds and residue on it. Overall, a good looking, easy to use and very versatile bean to cup coffee machine. Negatives, not really. There is a bit of a learning curve with getting the right settings and quantity to get the cup of coffee you want, but once that's defined, it's easy sailing. If you've used a Melitta coffee machine before, such as the Solo, it's the same brewing unit inside, or at least it looks like it to me, so you may be paying the extra money for the functionality, the brains, rather than the coffee press and extraction. Melitta has this listed with a retail price of £1,000 here in the UK, which seems a tad high to me. That being said, after a quick Google search, retailers are selling this for around £650 brand new, which is a much fairer price and more competitive too, in my mind. That is a wrap on this video. If you have stuck around until the end, then I appreciate it. If you want to see more videos from us in the future, hit that subscribe button and all our future videos will pop up in your feed. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comments section below and we will try and get back to you.